There we go. Hi. So can you tell us your names and what it is exactly that you do for the soup kitchen?
I'm Roger Keller.
And I'm his wife, Connie Keller.
And we volunteer for them twice a week by going to the Krispy Kreme right now and picking up donuts and delivering them back to them.
Gotcha. Do you go in and do you serve the donuts or do you just kind of pass them off? So.
We're just the deliverers. Prior to picking up for Krispy Kreme, we have done it for the bakery along with the Sam's Club.
Okay. How did you first find out about, the job that you do for the soup kitchen? How did you find out that that was a need that they had? And how did you start doing that yourselves?
Well, being retired, we wanted to do something volunteering, and our daughter served on the board there. And she informed us that there was a that there was a need, and so we could do this together. And in the beginning, it was Sam's Club, and then, as he said, we went to Sara Lee, their outlet, and we picked up there. And now we are at the Krispy Kreme. And we get anywhere from maybe 30 dozen to the most we've gotten was 210 dozen.
That's a lot of donuts.
That's a lot of donuts.
That's a lot of donuts. Wow. Could you tell us about maybe one or two different experiences that you've had through volunteering with the soup kitchen that have really made the place significant to you?
I think the people that work in the soup kitchen, because we've got to know not only Austin but and Skip as the two that are main contacts there. But you go in the kitchen themselves. There's Eloise, she works there, and she's a great person. Just the people, and then we've met some of the homeless folks that come there to eat outside of the soup kitchen, and I've had the opportunities to share a McDonald's or so forth with them. So it's the people that work there are truly dedicated to the people in the community.
Mm-hmm. And we have been able to find out other needs that they may have. One particular was washcloths, and today they still have a need for washcloths because at this location where they're at now, they have a shower for people to be able to bathe, and they always have a need for washcloths.
So your volunteering through picking up food, donuts, whatever that may be, has allowed you to, in turn, find out other needs and try to put yourselves in or even bring other people in to help with other needs too?
Yes, and we've been able to share that, with people at church and the community, that if you come across extra washcloths, that's a major need that they have.
That's really neat that, you do one thing and it corresponds with other things and that ministry grows.
Yeah. And I can't praise Austin and Skip enough. They are such fantastic leaders there, and that they have a real gift for networking. And there are times when they don't need all the donuts that we bring, and we may take them to another location, like maybe the Christian missions, across the way. There may be other times when somebody, this past Friday from Maiden was going to come and get some of the donuts. So they have a tremendous way of networking with other locations that they can share things that they have an abundance of.
Is there anything specifically that you've learned in yourselves that has been a result of you volunteering with the soup kitchen? How has it affected you as a person? What has it taught you?
I think there's tremendous need in this community, and if you're not involved with the soup kitchen, you don't understand. You're away from the real inner workings, and especially the homeless and the needy. It's given us more of a compassion for those folks.
And I think it has also opened our eyes past the soup kitchen to be more sensitive to people in need. For Roger, it is not uncommon for him to see somebody and he takes them to McDonald's. He frequently will pick people up, and especially McDonald's, they like to eat at McDonald's. Or he may go into McDonald's and see somebody sitting there, and he will share a meal with them. For me, that is not a wise thing to do, to be picking people up. But I see people along the streets, along highways, whatever, and I carry with me what I call my donation bag. Maybe a bottle of water, granola bar, whatever. I will have a little sack, and I can open my window and hand it to them. For me, I find that far safer, and yet I'm still meeting a need where he is better able to pick people up, which I don't do.
Would you consider the Hickory Soup Kitchen a sacred place for Hickory?
For
Oh,
those in
yes.
need. There, if you probably have interviewed the folks there, but basically that location has grown over this past several years, from feeding maybe 100 meals to now over 200, I think. It's, for those folks, it's a sacred place for them to come and to share and to intermingle, knowing that they can have a hot meal and probably fellowshipping and networking with those of the like kind.
And I think sacred takes on different definitions for different people. For some people, they are believers, and it's not uncommon for the gospel to be spoken in the soup kitchen. And that may be sacred for some people. For others, sacred may have the definition of being safe. And when they are there on the grounds of the soup kitchen, it's a safe place for all of them.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that the soup kitchen is also sacred to people that the soup kitchen doesn't serve as a client, but to those that volunteer, to those that work there, to those just in the community in general? How do you think that the soup kitchen as a sacred place applies to those people?
They can feel a use of, now I've got a purpose for serving. And I think most people that volunteer or even work there have more of a servant heart and wanting to give out. And it's not a hard or stressful thing for them to volunteer and to work there.
And it's so well organized as far as who has responsibility to do what, that even in volunteering, when you come in, you know what your job is. And that is a safe place. And I think it also meets people's needs who volunteer to be contributing. I know it has made me more sensitive to those who have needs. And we have connected with, the people there, and it's not, uncommon for them to say, how are we doing? And when things are, we share what's happening in our lives, and it's a two-way, sharing with each other, and it's almost like family, an extended family sort of feeling with them.
We've also have people that's within our church that will fill in for us when we cannot do it, and it's offered us an opportunity to expand our service to others.
So finally, is there any one story or experience that it comes back in your brain that was significant to you? Maybe it was with a client, maybe it was with another volunteer, maybe it was with a staff member, that kind of almost shapes your experience with the soup kitchen. Is there a story like that you could share with us?
I don't know what has been shared before, but prior to Austin coming, Sam was the organizer of that, and he was a very outward type person, and we remember the night that he had a stroke. It was a snowstorm. They was having the spaghetti supper there, and Sam was always in the middle of everything, and it was touching to us to know that the soup kitchen still cared for him that night and afterwards, and followed up with our daughter being one of the directors there. We know that they loved him and cared for him, and then they're interviewing and bringing Austin in. That whole process showed me that the community, especially that board and the city, was really, really concerned about the soup kitchen and those in need, and the way they cared for Sam.
And without sharing, some specifics in names or whatever, we have seen people coming to work there that have come out of situations that were less desirable for their lives, and being able to start to volunteer and then to become part-time employees, to see that turnaround in lives has just really been a blessing. And to learn their story and to see how they have changed, that's been a lot of joy.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.